Human soldier feeds hungry, inexperienced alien twins. Now they wants children with him. Sergeant Alex Reed, a veteran human soldier, trudged across the barren landscape, his boots leaving deep impressions in the soft red soil. His mission was simple on paper: survey the recently abandoned alien outpost, gather information, and report back. But Arvin was never simple. The planet was alive with danger. Strange, unseen creatures whispered in the darkness, and the faint hum of energy fields hinted at technology long forgotten. Alex's hand rested lightly on the sidearm at his hip, eyes scanning for movement. Years of experience had taught him that even the quietest corners could hide threats. As he climbed over a jagged ridge, he spotted something unusual in the distance. Two small figures stumbled across the rocky ground, moving awkwardly. They were nothing like the typical alien patrols or scavenger teams he had encountered before. Smaller, weaker, and uncoordinated, they seemed almost lost. Alex crouched behind a boulder, squinting through the dust. Their skin shimmered faintly in the dim light, a soft lavender hue, and their large eyes reflected the twin suns with a curious glow. They moved with hesitation, unsure of their surroundings. Even from a distance, Alex could see the fear etched in their posture. He recognized them immediately, young alien twins. Their kind had always fascinated him. Humanoid yet alien, intelligent yet inexperienced. Most soldiers would have ignored them, but Alex felt a surge of compassion. He had seen too much death, too much suffering. Perhaps he could do something different this time. Cautiously, he approached. The twins froze, their large eyes widening as they noticed him. Alex raised his hand slowly, showing he meant no harm. "Hey there," he said softly, his voice carrying over the wind. "I'm not going to hurt you. Are you lost?" The twins exchanged a glance, whispering in their soft, melodic language. Alex couldn't understand their words, but the tone was clear. They were frightened, unsure if this human was friend or foe. One of them, slightly taller, stepped forward hesitantly. Alex noticed that both were thin, their clothing torn and dusty. They hadn't eaten well, he could tell by the hollow look in their faces. He reached into his pack and pulled out a small packet of rations. "I think you might be hungry," he said, breaking the food into smaller pieces and holding it out. "Here, try this." The twins stared at him for a moment, as if debating whether to trust him. Hunger won. They approached slowly, taking the food with delicate hands. Their small mouths opened to eat, and Alex felt a strange warmth in his chest. Even in the middle of a dangerous, desolate planet, this small act of kindness mattered. "Good," Alex said with a small smile. "You need to eat more than that. Come on, let's get you somewhere safer." He gestured toward a nearby cave system, partially hidden by jagged rocks. The twins looked at each other, then back at him before cautiously following. Alex kept his eyes open for predators, but the twins seemed more worried about the terrain than anything else. Inside the cave, the twins explored quietly, their large eyes scanning the dark interior. Alex set down his pack and motioned for them to sit. "Rest here. I'll make sure no one bothers you." The twins watched him carefully. They were inexperienced, unsure of the ways of survival. Alex knew they would need more than food. They needed guidance. As the sun set behind the jagged mountains outside, Alex built a small fire using scavenged materials. The twins huddled close, fascinated by the flickering flames. Alex offered them water, and they drank eagerly, their small hands trembling with thirst. "You're safe here," Alex said. "I know this planet is harsh. I've been here a long time, and I've seen a lot, but you're just kids. You shouldn't be out here alone." The twins whispered to each other, their eyes full of curiosity. Alex couldn't understand their words, but he could feel their emotion. They were frightened, yes, but also intrigued by this human who had shown them kindness. Night fell, and the cave grew darker. Alex kept watch while the twins slept, thinking about how fragile life could be. Even the strongest soldiers had their limits, and even the bravest aliens could be vulnerable. Yet here he was, a single human, choosing to protect them. Hours passed quietly. Alex reflected on his own life, on the countless battles he had fought, the friends he had lost, and the small moments of humanity that kept him going. This mission had been routine, but saving these twins, perhaps this was why he had survived so long. The twins woke with the first light of dawn, stretching and blinking at the new day. They looked at Alex with cautious gratitude, offering soft noises that seemed like thanks. Alex nodded. "Today we start learning," he said. "You're going to need to survive here, and I'll teach you. I promise by the end you'll be able to take care of yourselves." The twins seemed to understand. Not fully, perhaps, but they trusted him enough to follow his lead. Alex led them outside, showing them how to move across the rocky terrain without making noise. He demonstrated how to find small plants and insects for food, how to use rocks to start a fire, and how to spot danger before it reached them. The twins were clumsy at first. One tripped over a rock, the other shrieked when a small creature scuttled past. But Alex remained patient, correcting them gently and encouraging them with each small success. By the end of the day, the twins had learned to gather a small amount of food and start a tiny fire. Their eyes sparkled with accomplishment, and Alex couldn't help but smile. "You did well today," he said. "Tomorrow we'll do even better. You'll see you're stronger than you think." As night fell again, Alex sat outside the cave, keeping watch. The twins slept peacefully, exhausted but safe. He felt a sense of pride he hadn't experienced in years. These small, inexperienced aliens depended on him, and he had chosen to protect them. In the distance, the wind howled across the barren landscape, carrying with it the promise of danger and adventure. Alex knew their journey was just beginning, but for now, he allowed himself a small moment of satisfaction. He had made a difference. He had given life a chance to grow, and in this harsh, distant world, that was worth more than any medal or mission report. The sun rose slowly over the jagged horizon of Arvin, painting the sky in shades of gold and red. The air was crisp and sharp, carrying the scent of dry soil and strange alien plants. Sergeant Alex Reed woke first, as always, checking the small fire outside the cave that had kept them warm through the night. The twins stirred behind him, blinking their large, luminous eyes at the new day. "Time to get up," Alex said gently. "Today we learn more about surviving here. You'll need to be quick, smart, and careful." The twins scrambled to their feet, stretching and yawning. One of them, the smaller of the two, stumbled over a rock, landing with a soft thump. Alex suppressed a smile. "Careful," he said. "Arvin is tricky. One wrong step can get you hurt or worse." He handed each twin a small pack of rations. "Eat first. You'll need energy for today." They accepted the food, nibbling quickly. Even in their unfamiliarity with human gestures, they understood the importance of nourishment. "All right," Alex said. "First lesson, finding food. Not everything is safe to eat, so you have to recognize what is and what is." He led them to a nearby patch of alien plants, some with spiky leaves and others with small, colorful fruits. "See these?" Alex pointed. "The red ones are safe to eat in small amounts. The blue ones not safe, they can make you sick." The twins leaned forward, their glowing eyes studying the plants. Alex watched as they carefully touched a few leaves, testing their texture. He offered guidance, demonstrating how to crush leaves, sniff them, and check for reactions. "It's all about observation," he explained. "Pay attention to what you touch, what you smell, and what you see. Nature has patterns if you look closely." The twins copied his movements carefully, sometimes hesitating, sometimes nodding as if understanding. Alex felt a surge of pride. They were learning fast, quicker than he had expected. Perhaps it was because they wanted to survive, because their small, inexperienced lives depended on it. After gathering a modest amount of food, Alex led them to a shallow stream running through a rocky valley. The water was clear but cold. He demonstrated how to filter it using cloth from their packs. "Clean water is essential," he said. "Never drink without checking. Even a small mistake can be dangerous here." The twins watched intently, mimicking his actions. One of them accidentally dropped a small container and water spilled across the rocks. Alex simply chuckled. "Mistakes happen, learn from them and move on." By mid-morning, the twins were more confident, picking fruits carefully and filtering water with minimal mistakes. Alex decided it was time for the next lesson, reading the terrain. "Arvin is full of surprises," he said. "You can't just walk blindly. You have to understand the ground, the rocks, and the signs of danger." He pointed to a set of claw marks near the stream. "See these? A creature passed through here recently. Could be big, could be small. You have to notice things like this. It can save your life." The twins bent down, examining the marks. Alex guided them, showing how to follow trails, recognize signs of movement, and predict where threats might appear. They practiced quietly, learning to move carefully without making noise. Hours passed, and the day grew hotter. Alex led them to a rocky outcrop overlooking the valley. "Rest here for a moment," he said. "You've done well. Learning to survive isn't just about strength. It's about patience, awareness, and thinking ahead." The twins sat beside him, breathing heavily but proud. They didn't fully understand every word he said, but they felt his pride, and it encouraged them. Alex smiled. "You're doing better than I expected. By the end of this week, you'll be able to handle yourself in most situations." As they rested, Alex scanned the horizon. His sharp eyes caught movement in the distance, a group of strange, quadrupedal creatures approaching quickly. They had long legs, armored backs, and eyes that glowed faintly in the dim light. They were predators, and they had noticed the group. "Stay close," Alex whispered, motioning for the twins to crouch behind him. "Don't make any noise." The creatures stopped at the edge of the valley, sniffing the air. Alex considered his options. There was no weapon that could take them all head-on, but Arvin's terrain offered advantages. He guided the twins quietly to a narrow canyon, using the rocks to block the predator's path. "Follow my lead," he said. "Watch me and copy everything I do." The twins moved carefully, crouching low, following Alex's every step. He showed them how to use shadows to hide, how to step on firm rocks to avoid making noise, and how to keep calm under pressure. Each movement had to be precise. One false step and they could attract the creature's attention. The predators moved closer, their glowing eyes scanning the canyon. Alex held his breath. He reached for a small flare from his pack and threw it over a ridge, drawing their attention. The creatures bolted toward the flare, distracted. "Move now," Alex whispered urgently. The twins followed, running silently through the narrow canyon. Their hearts pounded, but they didn't falter. Alex felt a thrill of satisfaction. They were learning to survive just as he had promised. After a tense half-hour, the predators lost interest, disappearing over the ridge. The twins collapsed onto the ground, panting and shaking. Alex knelt beside them. "You did it," he said. "You stayed calm, you followed instructions, and you survived. That's what matters." The twins looked at him with awe, their glowing eyes reflecting gratitude and newfound confidence. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment. Teaching them was more than survival, it was hope. As night fell, Alex led them back to the cave. They gathered around the fire, eating the food they had collected. The twins were quiet, processing the day's lessons. Alex watched them, realizing that they were growing stronger, not just physically but mentally. "Tomorrow," he said, "we'll learn about using tools, rocks, sticks, whatever you can find. You'll need to defend yourself if danger comes too close." And yes, that's a lesson you can't ignore. The twins listened intently, their trust in Alex deepening. He had become more than a protector, he was a mentor, a guide through the harsh world of Arvin. As the fire crackled and the twin suns set behind the distant mountains, Alex felt a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. These young aliens depended on him, and he would not let them down. He had survived countless battles, faced unimaginable threats, and seen worlds crumble. But here, on this alien planet, teaching these twins to survive felt more important than any mission or medal. The wind howled outside the cave, carrying the scent of distant danger. Alex didn't fear it, not entirely. He knew that every challenge, every threat was an opportunity to teach the twins to help them grow, and he was ready. Tomorrow the lessons would continue. The twins would learn and they would adapt. They would become strong, capable, and clever, because that was what humans did. They faced impossible odds, and yet they survived. And on this strange, distant planet, that human spirit would guide two young aliens through the first trials of their lives. The next morning, the twin sons of Arvin rose slowly over the horizon, spilling soft orange light over the jagged landscape. The air was cooler than the previous day, carrying the scent of alien flora and dry soil. Sergeant Alex Reed woke early, as usual, checking the small fire outside the cave that had kept them warm through the night. The twins were already awake, their luminous eyes scanning the rocky terrain outside the cave. They had learned much in the past days: food, water, basic survival. But today, Alex planned a more challenging lesson. "Today," Alex said, rousing them, "we're going to learn how to move quickly and quietly over rough terrain. You never know what dangers are waiting." The twins nodded, stretching their limbs, eager to prove themselves. Alex handed them small packs of rations and water, reminding them, "Energy is important. You can't be strong if you're weak." They left the cave, stepping cautiously over rocks and uneven ground. Alex taught them how to balance, how to jump from one ledge to another, and how to use their hands and feet to stabilize themselves. The twins were clumsy at first, but with guidance, they grew more confident. As they navigated a narrow canyon, Alex noticed subtle signs of movement: disturbed rocks, broken branches, and faint tracks. His instincts told him that they were not alone. He signaled the twins to stop. "Quiet," he whispered. "Something is nearby. Watch carefully and stay behind me." The twins froze, their eyes wide. They had not yet encountered real predators, only distant signs. Alex crouched low, scanning the canyon. 4 shadowy shapes moved between the rocks, large, armored creatures with sharp claws and glowing eyes. "Predators, stay calm," Alex whispered. "Follow me exactly. Step where I step, move as I move. Do not make a sound." He led the twins along the canyon floor, using the shadows to hide their movements. Each step was deliberate, every sound minimized. Alex's heart raced, but he maintained a calm exterior. He knew panic would spread to the twins and they could be lost. One of the predators sniffed the air, turning its head toward their direction. Alex froze, waiting for it to move away. Slowly, it returned to its patrol, and Alex motioned for the twins to continue. They moved carefully, mimicking his every step. Suddenly, a rock shifted under Alex's boot. The creature turned sharply, sensing movement. Alex acted quickly, grabbing a small flare from his pack. He hurled it over a ridge, and it burst into bright light. The predator's attention shifted instantly, and they charged toward the flare. "Run!" Alex whispered urgently. The twins followed, moving as silently as possible through the canyon. They stumbled over rocks, but Alex caught their hands when necessary, guiding them to safety. After a tense half-hour, the predators disappeared into the distance. The twins collapsed onto the ground, breathing heavily, their small bodies trembling from fear and excitement. Alex knelt beside them. "You did it," he said. "You stayed calm, followed instructions, and survived. That's what matters." The twins looked at him with awe, their eyes glowing softly in the fading light. Alex smiled. Teaching them was more than survival. It was about instilling courage and confidence. Once they recovered, Alex led them to a small clearing with alien plants and shallow pools of water. "Rest here," he said. "We'll eat and drink, then continue lessons." While the twins ate, Alex reflected on the day. They had learned more than moving quietly. They had learned to trust him, to rely on his guidance, and to act under pressure. This was what made humans remarkable. Against odds, with nothing but knowledge, courage, and ingenuity, they could survive. After the brief rest, Alex decided it was time to teach the twins about using tools to protect themselves. He gathered rocks, sticks, and a few other materials found in the clearing. "Today, you'll learn how to defend yourselves," he explained. "Not by fighting directly, but by using the environment and simple tools." He demonstrated how to throw a rock accurately, how to use a stick to trip or block a predator, and how to create small barriers for protection. The twins imitated his actions, their small hands gripping rocks and sticks with determination. As the sun climbed higher, shadows of more predators appeared on the canyon walls. Alex noticed them first, pointing silently to the twins. "See them?" he whispered. "We have company, time to use your skills." The twins followed Alex carefully, placing small rocks and branches to make noise in one area, creating a distraction. The predators investigated, allowing Alex and the twins to move quietly in another direction. Step by step, they made their way across the canyon, combining movement, observation, and tools. The twins grew braver with each maneuver, reacting quickly to Alex's instructions. One of them even managed to topple a small rock barrier onto a predator's path, momentarily startling it. Alex nodded in approval. By evening, they reached a safer area, a flat plateau with higher ground and good visibility. Alex allowed the twins to rest. "You've done well today," he said. "You've learned to move carefully, use tools, and react to danger. Each day you'll get stronger, smarter, and braver." The twins looked at him with respect and admiration. Alex felt proud. He had survived countless battles, faced unimaginable dangers, and seen worlds crumble. But guiding these young aliens gave him a deeper sense of purpose. As the twin suns set behind distant mountains, Alex set up a small fire. The twins gathered around, exhausted but eager to absorb every bit of his guidance. They shared the food they had collected, and Alex listened to their soft, melodic words. Though he could not understand them, their tones conveyed trust, curiosity, and gratitude. Night fell and Alex kept watch. The wind whispered through the canyon, carrying the distant sounds of unseen creatures. Every movement could mean danger. Yet Alex felt confident. He had taught the twins to observe, adapt, and act wisely. They were no longer helpless. They were learning to survive step by step. He reflected on the lessons of the day. Survival was not only about strength, it was about thinking ahead, using resources wisely, and staying calm under pressure. The twins had begun to understand this. They had faced danger, stayed focused, and learned to trust their guide. The twins drifted into sleep, exhausted but safe. Alex remained vigilant, scanning the dark horizon for any sign of threats. He thought about the challenges that lay ahead: harsher terrain, unpredictable predators, and unknown dangers. Yet he also felt hope. With guidance, courage, and intelligence, even inexperienced beings could survive. Tomorrow, Alex planned to teach them about navigation and using landmarks to move safely across the planet. They would learn how to anticipate dangers, read the terrain, and act decisively. Each lesson would prepare them for the unpredictable world of Arvin. As he sat by the fire, the stars of the distant sky twinkling above, Alex felt a quiet satisfaction. He had survived countless battles, faced impossible odds, and lost companions along the way. But here, in this strange and dangerous land, he was making a real difference. He had taken two inexperienced alien twins and begun shaping them into survivors. The human spirit, resourcefulness, courage, and determination was guiding them through their first true trials. And in this vast, harsh universe, that spirit would continue to shine, lighting the way for those willing to learn and adapt. The wind howled through the canyon, a reminder that Arvin was unpredictable, wild, and unforgiving. Alex did not fear it. He had faced far greater challenges. With patience, knowledge, and courage, he knew they would endure. And together, he and the twins would continue their journey, stronger, smarter, and ready for whatever the planet had in store. As the night deepened, Alex leaned back against a rock, watching the twins sleep peacefully. He felt a rare sense of peace. They were safe for now, and tomorrow they would grow even stronger, learning more about survival, courage, and the power of trust. The journey was only beginning, and in the harsh, distant world of Arvin, Alex knew one thing for certain: together they could face anything. The twin suns rose slowly over the rocky horizon of Arvin, casting long shadows across the jagged landscape. Sergeant Alex Reed woke early, as usual, scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. The cave they had called home for the past days was quiet, the twins still asleep, their small forms curled near the fire. Alex took a deep breath, feeling the cool morning air fill his lungs. Today, he knew, would not be simple. The terrain was becoming more dangerous, and predators were more active during this season. He had taught the twins how to survive, but now it was time to test their courage and resourcefulness in a real emergency. He roused the twins gently. "Time to wake up," he said softly. "Today we're going to practice navigating through unknown terrain. Stay alert and remember everything I've taught you." The twins stretched and nodded, their large eyes bright with determination. Alex handed them small packs of rations and water. "Energy is important," he reminded them. "Don't waste it." They stepped cautiously over rocks and uneven ground, practicing silent movement and observation. Alex watched every step, ready to guide them. But as they moved through a narrow canyon, he sensed something was wrong. A sudden silence filled the air. Even the wind seemed to pause. Alex signaled the twins to stop. His sharp eyes scanned the canyon. In the shadows, a group of large predators emerged, moving swiftly and silently. Their armored backs glimmered faintly, and their glowing eyes fixed on the group. There were more than yesterday, perhaps 6 or 7. Alex knew immediately that the twins could not survive a direct confrontation. He needed a plan, and fast. "Follow me," he whispered. "Stay close and do exactly as I do." He led them through a narrow passage, using the rocks as cover. The predators advanced, their footsteps echoing faintly against the canyon walls. Alex thought quickly, scanning the terrain for advantages. He spotted a steep ledge above, a narrow overhang that the predators could not climb easily. "Up here," he whispered, pointing to the ledge. "Climb carefully, step where I step." The twins followed, their small hands gripping rocks as they climbed. Alex guided them slowly, correcting their movements and encouraging them with soft words. One twin slipped slightly, but Alex caught it in time. "Careful," he whispered. "Use your strength, but also your mind. Think before every move." The predators reached the base of the ledge and began to growl, sensing their prey above. Alex realized they had little time. He reached into his pack and pulled out a few small rocks. With careful aim, he threw them to the far side of the canyon, creating noise to distract the predators. The creatures turned, giving Alex and the twins a small window to move. Step by step, they advanced along the ledge. Alex noticed another danger, a narrow bridge of rock connecting to a larger plateau. It was unstable, and one wrong step could send them tumbling. "Stay close to me," he instructed. "One step at a time. Watch where you put your feet, trust me." The twins moved cautiously, their small hands gripping the rocks tightly. Alex went first, testing each step. The bridge creaked under his weight but held firm. Encouraged, the twins followed, moving slowly but steadily. Once they reached the plateau, Alex allowed a small moment of relief. The predators were below, unable to reach them easily. He pointed to a nearby cave in the plateau's rock face. "That's where we'll stay for now. Safe, but we can't stay long. We need to keep moving before they figure out another path." The twins nodded, following him into the cave. Inside, Alex set up a small fire using dry twigs and stones. "Rest here for a while," he said. "Drink water, eat, and be ready. We'll continue soon." As the twins ate, Alex studied the plateau carefully. He noticed signs that suggested the predators were planning to circle around, trying to cut off any escape. He needed a strategy, not just for survival, but for teaching the twins how to act under pressure. "Listen carefully," he said. "We're going to move in a way that confuses them. You'll need to stay alert, follow my lead, and act quickly. It will be tricky, but I believe you can do it." The twins listened intently, their eyes wide. Alex could see determination mixed with fear. That was exactly what he wanted, courage tempered with careful observation. He led them out of the cave, keeping low to avoid being seen. Using the shadows and natural cover, they moved toward a series of boulders that formed a natural maze. Alex taught the twins how to use the terrain to hide, how to signal silently, and how to watch for danger without making noise. Halfway through the maze, the predators appeared again, searching for them. Alex motioned the twins to hide behind a large boulder. They crouched silently, barely breathing. One of the predators sniffed the air, but the twins remained perfectly still. Alex's heart pounded, but he kept calm. Human composure was contagious. The twins were learning it quickly. When the predators moved away, Alex guided them further through the maze. He showed them how to create distractions, throwing a rock here, nudging a stick there, to draw attention away from themselves. The twins practiced carefully, and soon they were able to perform small distractions on their own, surprising even Alex with their quick learning. After hours of careful movement, they reached a safer plateau with higher ground. Alex allowed them to rest, praising their efforts. "You've done very well today," he said. "You stayed calm, followed instructions, and adapted. That's how you survive." The twins looked at him with admiration, their trust deepening. Alex felt a surge of pride. They were no longer completely helpless. They had learned to think, act, and react under pressure. As night fell, Alex led them to a secure cave on the plateau. He set up a small fire, letting the warmth spread through the rocky shelter. The twins ate the last of their rations and drank water, their bodies exhausted but their minds alert. "Tomorrow," Alex said, "we'll continue learning. You'll navigate even tougher terrain and face new challenges. Each day you grow stronger, smarter, and braver." The twins curled near the fire, finally allowing themselves to relax. Alex kept watch outside, scanning the horizon. Arvin was harsh and unpredictable, but he had taught the twins essential lessons: observation, patience, courage, and trust. He thought about the journey ahead. More dangers would come, and the twins would face trials that tested everything they had learned. But he had confidence. With careful guidance, clear thinking, and courage, they could survive. The wind howled through the plateau, carrying the faint sound of distant predators. Alex did not fear it. He knew the human spirit, the combination of intelligence, creativity, and courage, was a powerful guide. And he would use it to protect these young aliens, to teach them to survive, and to show them that even in the harshest environments, hope and determination could prevail. As the night deepened, Alex reflected on the day. The twins had faced real danger and survived. They had learned to trust, to observe, and to act. And they had begun to understand that courage was not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. He leaned back against a rock, watching the twins sleep peacefully. He knew the next day would bring new challenges, steeper terrain, unexpected predators, and tests of their growing skills. But he felt a quiet satisfaction. They were learning, adapting, and surviving, and together they would face whatever dangers Arvin had in store. The journey was far from over. But in the harsh, distant world of Arvin, one thing was certain. Sergeant Alex Reed and the young alien twins were no longer helpless. They were becoming survivors, guided by human ingenuity, courage, and determination. And in a world as unpredictable as this, that was more valuable than any weapon, any technology, or any safe path. The twin suns rose slowly over the jagged mountains of Arvin, filling the sky with pale gold light. Sergeant Alex Reed stirred from his sleep, checking the small fire that had kept them warm through the night. The twins were awake, stretching and yawning, their luminous eyes bright with curiosity. "Good morning," Alex said, smiling. "Today we continue learning. And today we'll put all your skills to the test." The twins nodded eagerly, eager to prove themselves. They had grown stronger and more confident over the past days. Alex had taught them food gathering, water filtration, terrain reading, silent movement, and even using tools for protection. Today, he would teach them the final lesson, independence. "Today," he said, "you will navigate part of the canyon on your own. I will watch and guide you, but you must make decisions. You will find your own food, water, and safe spots. Remember everything I taught you." The twins' eyes widened in excitement and nervousness. They had never been so far from Alex's immediate protection, but they trusted him and themselves more than ever. Alex led them to the edge of the canyon, pointing to a series of narrow passages, rocky outcrops, and small streams. "This is your path," he explained. "Use your eyes, your hands, and your minds. Observe carefully, move quietly, and stay alert. I am nearby, but you will make your own choices." The twins nodded and stepped forward carefully. Alex watched closely, ready to intervene if necessary. At first, they moved slowly, testing their skills. One of them reached for a small plant, remembering Alex's lessons on safe food. The other crouched low, listening to the wind for any signs of predators. Hours passed, and the twins navigated the canyon successfully. They crossed small streams, climbed rocky ledges, and even used sticks to create makeshift bridges over gaps. Each step showed growth, courage, and intelligence. Alex felt proud. The twins were no longer helpless. They were beginning to think, plan, and act like survivors. At midday, they stopped at a clearing with shallow pools of water and clusters of alien plants. The twins quickly gathered fruit and filtered water, demonstrating skills Alex had taught them. He nodded approvingly. "You did that perfectly," he said. "I couldn't be prouder. You've learned to survive, and you've done it on your own. That's what matters most." The twins smiled, their eyes glowing with happiness. They had accomplished something important, independence. They understood the lessons of observation, patience, and courage. They had grown under Alex's guidance and were ready to face challenges with confidence. But the day was not without danger. As they rested, Alex noticed movement in the distance, the same predators from before moving closer. He realized they could block the twins' path back to the cave if they were not careful. "Stay calm," Alex whispered. "We'll use what we've learned. Follow my lead." He guided the twins through the clearing, using the rocks and plants as cover. He showed them how to create small distractions, throwing pebbles and sticks to divert the predator's attention. The twins followed, moving quietly and skillfully just as Alex had taught them. The predators were clever, but the twins were now cleverer. One of them kicked a small rock toward a bush, creating a noise that drew the creature's attention. Alex smiled quietly. "Very good," he whispered. "You remembered your training." Step by step, they moved across the canyon, evading the predators. Alex used his knowledge of the terrain to find paths that were safe yet challenging, giving the twins opportunities to apply their skills. They climbed, crouched, and ran silently, navigating the rugged landscape with growing confidence. By evening, they reached a safe plateau overlooking the valley. The sun dipped behind the mountains, casting long shadows. The predators were far below, unable to reach them. Alex allowed the twins to rest, praising their achievements. "You've done exceptionally well," he said. "You faced real danger, used your skills, and survived. You are no longer inexperienced. You are survivors." The twins looked at him with admiration and gratitude. Alex felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He had taken two frightened, inexperienced beings and guided them through harsh challenges. They had learned courage, observation, and intelligence. They had grown under his guidance, and now they were capable of facing the world with confidence. As night fell, Alex set up a small fire on the plateau. The twins gathered around, eating the food they had collected and sharing stories in their melodic language. Though Alex could not understand the words, he understood their meaning: joy, relief, and gratitude. "Tomorrow," Alex said as the fire crackled, "we'll begin exploring further. You'll practice finding new resources, reading the terrain, and helping each other. The more you learn, the stronger you become. The twins curled near the fire, exhausted but content. Alex kept watch outside, scanning the horizon. The wind whispered through the rocks, carrying the distant sounds of creatures and the soft rustle of alien plants. Even in this harsh, distant world, he felt a sense of peace. He thought about the journey they had shared. The twins had grown from frightened, inexperienced beings into capable young survivors. They had learned to trust, to think, and to act. They had faced danger and come out stronger, and Alex had witnessed their growth firsthand. The night deepened, and the twin suns disappeared completely behind the horizon. Stars began to twinkle in the clear sky, reflecting in the small pools of water nearby. Alex leaned back against a rock, watching the twins sleep peacefully. He reflected on the lessons of the journey: courage, intelligence, observation, and teamwork. In the morning, Alex led the twins to a small alien village he had discovered earlier. The community welcomed them cautiously, observing the twins' skills and confidence. The twins demonstrated what they had learned: finding food, navigating the terrain, and using simple tools for protection. The village elders were impressed. "They have been taught well," one of them said in their melodic language, turning to Alex. Though he did not understand every word, he understood the tone, respect, and gratitude. Alex smiled. The twins had completed their journey from helpless beginners to capable survivors. They were ready to face the world, to explore, and to grow further, guided by their own courage and intelligence. Before leaving the village, the twins approached Alex. Their eyes shone with gratitude. Though they could not speak his language, their gestures were clear: thanks, respect, and admiration. Alex nodded, feeling proud. He had not only protected them, but had given them the skills to thrive. As he walked away from the village, Alex looked back at the twins. They waved, small hands raised high, confident, and strong. He felt a rare sense of fulfillment. The harsh world of Arvin had tested them, and they had passed. The human spirit, courage, intelligence, and guidance had helped them grow. Alex continued his journey across the plateau, the wind at his back. He knew challenges awaited him, as they always did in a world as unpredictable as Arvin. But he also knew something important: he had made a difference. He had guided life, nurtured growth, and helped beings learn the strength they already carried within themselves. The twin suns rose again the next morning, painting the world in shades of gold and red. Alex smiled, knowing that wherever he went, the twins would carry the lessons he had taught them. They were no longer helpless. They were survivors, and in the harsh universe of Arvin, that was more than enough. As the stars disappeared and the suns climbed higher, Alex walked onward. The twins waved from the village behind him, ready for their new life, confident in their strength and inspired by human courage. Alex knew he would remember this journey forever: the journey of two young aliens, a harsh planet, and the enduring power of hope, courage, and guidance. The world was vast, dangerous, and full of surprises. But Alex had proven one thing: with patience, intelligence, and courage, even the most inexperienced beings could grow into capable survivors. And that was the heart of humanity: helping others, teaching them to be strong, and inspiring hope in even the darkest places. On Arvin, in a small village, two young alien twins began a new chapter of their lives. And across the rugged landscape, Sergeant Alex Reed walked on, knowing that his mission, more important than any battle, had been a success. The journey was over, but the legacy of courage and guidance would last forever.